Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. As always, I have with me my guys here, Kylie and Andrew. How you guys doing?
Good to be back.
Yeah,
I
good,
think
good, good, for sure.
I think it's more exciting now that we have the Premier League returning, the NFL as well, and yeah, just sports in general. I feel like the time it takes, like the break, there are things in between that just keep us going up until the point that we have to jump back into like our major topics, which is like the EPL, La Liga, just things that we're very in tune with. But yeah, how excited are you guys for first of all this season and also your team?
Well, for me, if it feels like Christmas Eve, man. Like I'm just that kind of excitement, that level of excitement is how I feel. Just ready for like a schedule, right? Premier League has always been like a thing that growing up as a Nigerian that loves soccer, Premier League is like a thing that you used to check your calendar. It lets you know when you are like in the year as a football lover, just a general human being. Like it's just like a part of our life has been missing for so long,
It
and I'm happy
is.
that we're back on track.
Yeah, Arsenal finally getting over that hump this year.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, if they don't, then it might be time to jump ship.
Honestly, yeah, and obviously people say the third time's a charm, but you guys have been second the past 2 years, correct?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's tough,
finally.
honestly. And I feel like I think the first time we knew Man City was going to win, but this last time, you guys had much more of a chance up until the last day. I believe it was just 1 point, and
Yeah,
I think you guys have kept pretty much the same squad. Maybe added a few pieces that the team needed, but I believe you guys have a chance. I was looking at something that I think Bleacher Report posted today, or one of these fan pages, and they were like, which one of these teams is going to end up in top four? And Arsenal wasn't there. Like Arsenal and Man City were in there, and then the rest of the other teams that we're used to seeing, like Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, were in the picture, right? And Arsenal, I think, are being regarded as favorites for this season. And you know, surprising, but if you guys don't win this time, I think Arteta has to go.
Ateta has to go. That's
I,
funny.
I almost say Arteta has to go because I genuinely don't think Man City. I think Man City still have the best team, but I don't reason I think Arsenal would win or should win is Man City are tired of winning. I won't even lie, and man, Arsenal seem to be the only team capable of like taking them on. As we saw last season as well. So yeah, it would be surprising to see them use the exact same squad, except from that Girona guy. This Savino was his name that they added. Outside of that guy, like it's the same team. So again, like I just feel like there isn't much motivation for them to go and get 90 points again this season. So
Yeah. But on that point, Andrew, you don't think Arteta should leave if he doesn't win the Premier League or any
Wait,
other like trophies this season?
he's won trophies or a trophy, but like sacking someone for getting second place doesn't really mean anything. Like
I don't think that. I just feel like if he doesn't win anything this season, like there's no progress essentially.
yes, but
I feel like Pep is the person bouncing him. So that's the only reason I feel like they shouldn't, because it's Pep, bro. Like Pep is arguably the
No,
greatest manager ever.
yeah, but there
that's
are other competitions as well. So Kai, that's why I put that into context. Like I'm not just saying like the Premier League. I know my initial statement was more so targeted towards the Premier League, but if we're looking, because Pep is still going to be there for as long as he's there. So if he doesn't win 3 times and he's second, I feel like he's been defeated. Like
I mean, that's fair, sure, but whoever they bring in probably finishes worse off than whatever
that's
Ateta has been
that's
doing.
that's what I was
That's the,
about to say.
that's the
Like
only problem.
there's a
yeah,
project that's ongoing, right? We are all clear witnesses to the project. When he first took up with Arsenal ended like eighth. He pushed them up. They ended, I think, fifth, and now they ended second twice. There's obviously a progression. If you get to a peak where you cannot move to the next level and get first, I still don't think he needs to be sacked yet. They'll, we can start talking about sack when there's a decline, like when like Arsenal is ending like fourth, fifth, and we clearly see that the team is not working and things are going bad. Then we can start talking about sack. Obviously, we're not a team like we don't have the luxury of Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool, or other teams
Luxury.
that yeah, yeah, you guys are comfortable changing managers easily and adapting quickly. We don't have that luxury. We're not used to that culture, unfortunately for us now.
I
So
wonder even say Liverpool.
changing a manager might not be something that would work for us now. It might be just maybe giving more budget or changing the sport director or something. But changing manager doesn't really. It's not like an Arsenal thing,
Fair
if
enough.
anything.
But yeah, sure. Anyways, let's get into our actual predictions. For I guess now we do top six instead of top four.
Sorry,
Um,
one more thing. Sorry for cutting short. This is Pep's alleged is going to be his last season in Premier League, and that's why I think he won't want to go out as a loser. So we might just see a crazy
as a
Man City
loser
side. So
after winning four in a row, I
Pep is
want to
not
see the person that will call
normal.
him a loser.
No,
No,
Pep
no, I get what you're
is
saying, but I'm saying like
you know.
he's not going out as a loser if he doesn't win Prem this season.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that would definitely give him another
motivation.
level of motivation to want to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I guess good luck to him motivating his players as well, sure. Because that's one hell of a task. I feel like Man City winning this season would be more so no one stepping up to challenge them rather than them just being a 90 plus point team. Again, all this is just based off of like I just find it hard to see. But yeah, anyways, let's go into this. So I guess let's go from our top, from six to one. That way. So in sixth place, I guess Andrew, you can go first. Let's
Okay,
who do
so
you have in sixth?
for me in sixth place, I have Aston Villa. I think the Champions League is going to be overwhelming for them. Good squad, good manager, but I don't think they'll be able to keep up with what they did last season. So Aston Villa, yeah, I think Chelsea should have a progression. The amount of players they've had, I've been waiting for Chelsea to get back to this level. Man City,
Wait,
as you
wait,
know,
wait,
I
chill,
feel
chill. No, no,
Man
and
City,
let's go
Chelsea's
like
fifth.
six. Like let's all go around and give our six.
That's what
Um,
I'm doing.
no, no, like I mean six. Like we'll all go and give our sixth position. Then we'll go around give
Oh,
our
so
fifth
everybody gives
position.
their
Go around, yeah,
sixth.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you meant
As
out of
opposed to just
sixth.
listing
Okay,
out. Yeah,
okay. So me, Aston Villa sixth. I'm giving my
yeah.
reasons.
Tosin, who do you have in sixth?
I would go with Chelsea for this one.
Chelsea, okay, and I go with Spurs. I thought of Aston Villa as well. But I feel like Aston Villa. I think what happened to Newcastle last season happens to them. Um, but I think West Ham are definitely a good shout as well. But I don't think they would make it. But yeah. So I guess
So
let's go
fifth,
fifth place.
yeah. So for fifth, I'll go with Chelsea. They deserve it. Finally.
And for fifth, I would go with Newcastle.
Yeah, for fifth, I'm going Liverpool.
That's very interesting. For for fourth, I'll go with Man City. I just feel as
Oh,
Kyle
no,
said, the
that's
wheels.
interesting.
Yeah, as you said, the wheels are might be tired. So maybe the other three teams are more hungry. So hopefully they end in fourth for us.
Yeah.
Fourth, I would go with Manu.
Yeah, I have United in fourth place as well.
That's decent.
Yeah.
For third, I'll go with Liverpool. I think they deserve it too.
Wow, we deserve third place.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it. I would go with Arsenal for this one. Arsenal in third place.
Yeah, third place I have Chelsea.
Okay, that was very interesting. For for second place, I'll go with Man U. Um,
Man U in
yeah.
second is wild down. I won't even lie. That's probably the wildest, but
But the only way that will happen is if they get rid of Mr. Ten Hag. But if they don't, then it might be
bruh,
different.
I don't see them getting rid of him, at least not early enough in the season.
Okay.
I mean, he kind of already came out and made a statement about his team not being ready. Like
Yeah. They
every
have
team.
Euro injured too, and even though Holland is not great, that's their
But,
main striker, he's
but
injured too.
I thought they signed a new striker as well.
Yeah, some guy. What's his name again?
I'll get
I
his
think
name.
Zeki or
Yeah,
Zexi
Oh
or
yeah,
Zeki.
something,
exactly. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, but my issue
but
with
he's
that
not. That
is,
guy's not a serious striker, though, in my
yeah, but
opinion.
my issue with that was
Our
the
predictions.
news was around Copa America and players returning late, and I'm like, every team was affected by that. Like, why are you making that an excuse
Yeah,
about not having players being ready to play when every team had to do with that? So yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I guess. Anyways, we'll come back to that.
Tossing your second place team,
Um, who did you pick? Man
mind
U.
you. Yeah.
Man City.
Yeah, I have City second as well,
Yeah. So for
and I
first
think
place,
we'll
I'll
have
go
the fifth.
with Arsenal.
I guess we're all
Oh
going with
no,
our team since we're just joking
yeah,
around. Liverpool.
I think.
yeah, I have Arsenal as well
Okay.
winning.
Wait,
But
where was Chelsea?
I had Chelsea third.
Oh,
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, we can let. I guess let's we can take a moment here to kind of discuss some of our, let's just call it,
Picks,
yeah,
predictions.
yeah, predictions, right? Like for instance, Andrew, you have United in second. I mean, you already give your reason as to why
Yeah.
you have that. I guess Tosin, I guess Tosin's picks. The only thing I probably would ask with Tosin's pick is like Liverpool. Off of you guys just lost Klopp. So I mean, saying Liverpool will win the league is definitely a mountain in my opinion.
yeah. Honestly, I would have to go back to listen to our last few predictions, but I think I've always expected Liverpool to win the league going into every season because I personally believe we have the players that can compete against any team in the league and we can win as many games as possible. I know we have a new manager, but I believe he's had enough time to work with the players and implement some form of a system. And we don't seem to have those excuses that a coach like Ten Hag is bringing up, where he's had very much a similar team to what he did last year and added a few pieces. Like, you already have your system in place. Things are meant to work a certain way. If you're a coach and you're just adding in a few more, pieces, adding a few more like tactics that you want your team to implement throughout the season, those things don't happen automatically. You need to play a few games and then you get into like full season stride. So
Fair enough.
I
But
expect Liverpool to win like
yeah,
even
but I
with the
mean,
same players.
the last thing I'll say on that before we move on is that means you're expecting, I guess, Slot to implement something that would beat Arsenal and City, who have essentially been very good. And if you're looking at Liverpool season last season, even with Klopp, I feel like they were not up to par. So it's again, I feel like that's a huge expectation on a new coach to come and be better than Pep and Ateta in his first season.
Liverpool were very much up to par last season. We competed up until like I think like
Yeah, last
the
5 game weeks or something like
yeah,
that.
that's where it kind of fell apart. So I think that was more of a team, like internal. I don't know what was going on with Liverpool during that period, but we competed for every single title last season. I think we ended up with
Yeah,
two, and it was meant to be like a farewell for Klopp, like just showing what he's done within that team. And he left the exact same team there. I don't think we've sold any player. We haven't bought any players, but we haven't sold any players either because we
yeah, no
have
major players at least.
we no major players at least, but
Yeah,
we have a lot of continuity within the team. It's just a different style of play that he might want to add, one
yeah,
or two things. But I don't think he's going to change everything that Klopp has done.
yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to call out from
I
our top
think,
six.
yeah, I think seeing Chelsea as number three, like, why do you think Chelsea would be in that position this season?
I feel like it's a team that has everyone back, honestly. And I personally think Okuku is the best player on our team, and we didn't have him last season. And despite that, I feel we had so many chances to finish much higher than we did, but we just kind of kept shooting ourselves in the foot type B. And again, I know no one expects anything from Chelsea. So I think we would go into games with, I wouldn't say like an edge, in the sense that like you see teams like Arsenal, City, I feel teams come there with a more compact approach, making it harder for them. But I feel with Chelsea, teams will approach Chelsea like they can beat them, which I truly believe they can. But I feel like that will open up things for us, in all honesty. So yeah, I'm just backing Chelsea to just shock guys and finish higher than expected. And we're in Conference League, which I don't think is a serious league, where I feel we're going to field probably more of our second options. The strongest guys on our team probably get to rest week in week out. In I guess in the league, and I think based off of that as well, Man City and Arsenal are the only two teams that, in my opinion, I feel like are heads and shoulders above Chelsea, that we can't compete with. I feel every other team, Chelsea's team is arguably as talented as those teams if we're just looking at the players. So it's more of, yeah, I think everything is based off of how well this new coach does. I don't really, I don't really trust him, to be very honest, but you know, I feel like if he does very well, then we do very well. Like, but if he doesn't, obviously we don't. But in terms of just talent within the squad, I think Chelsea has a top three, at worst top four talented squad in the league.
Yeah, I think that's fair. To be honest, I think that's a um, fair description of what to expect from your team. To
Yeah,
like, especially as a fan, honestly, like I from my perspective, I still see a very confused ownership and a team that hasn't really figured out how they want to play, what kind of players they want to play, what kind of system they want to play in. With the amount of signings that you've had just prior to the season, it's going to be a lot for a new coach to manage.
yeah,
And I think just for him to focus on like his style of play, he's going to have to shuffle a lot of options. And by doing that, it takes you a longer time to figure out like your system, how you want that to be implemented
yeah.
because you're trying out different things, right? So
But I think that's the opposite actually, is which I personally didn't like before, or maybe not before, that I don't personally like, is I feel that guy, the new coach, actually has so much of an idea of football. Like he seems like a very rigid guy. Looking at Leicester, for instance, like when he was with Leicester last season, when they were going through tough times, essentially, he stuck to what he wanted to do, which, in my own opinion, I don't think Chelsea needs that. But he has his style of play, like exactly how he wants to play, like, and he has done that all through preseason. And you can already tell the players he wants to use for those things. Like, he has already iced out guys like Chilwell, they're not getting minutes, like Chukwuemeka, like they're just setting guys in our team where you already know Disasi and so on that he's not using, and then you have guys like Nkoku and Nkoku Lavia, like guys that he has made it clear that they're his guys. So if there's anything that would actually kill him, I think it would be the fact that he's unable to like adjust to Prem, where again he's a possession heavy guy. You know, if that isn't working out, I feel like he will struggle because I don't think he has like a proper plan B in place. But yeah, I guess we'll see how all that plays out. Guess moving on, we can move on to who we have relegating for the season.
For me, one of the people that are coming back to Premier League that haven't been there in a long time, Ipswich. I think they'll just mark their attendance and head back out. I don't think they have the finance it takes to stay in the Premier League. I just don't think they have what it takes, honestly, to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, uh,
yeah, I'm gonna echo that honestly. I didn't see too many signings from them this season that would propel them to stay in the Premier League for another season. So in comparison with the other teams that they're going against, they don't seem to stand a chance, honestly. So Ipswich, I'm sorry, I think we're going to see you back in the EFL next season. So
Yeah, I'm going Leicester. I think they lost the coach that, you know, I think the biggest reason is they lost the coach that brought them there. So they're going to be trying out something new in a first season back in Premier League. So I think they'll struggle. Yeah. I can go
Second,
next for my
okay.
second one. I have Southampton as well. I think Southampton. I just don't trust in Southampton. I think they would go back. They will go back to Championship.
Same here. I have Southampton to follow suit. The team is just very like classic.
Interesting.
You have Adam Lanana. Like, what's going on here? Like, why is he coming back? Like, I don't know. Seems very interesting. They literally struggled to get into the Premier League. They won 1-0 in the playoff. So yeah, are they supposed to be here? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, because of all that, I think they will collect a lot of goals, drink a lot of goals, and head back to EFL.
yeah, for me, I have Bournemouth. I feel like they found a way to stay in the Premier League the past couple of seasons, and this year might just be a lot more difficult for them. I feel like with teams that stay in the Premier League and they don't necessarily make like a huge improvement on their squad, like they're bound to have like a little bit of a dip, and a lot of times with teams like that they can't find their way back. Like for example, I know there's a season we're joking about Chelsea being relegated, but Chelsea is able to win games that you don't expect them to. Like for example, Chelsea could face Man City and end up winning that game, and that would just give them sort of like the energy that they would need to win a few more games or beat smaller teams that we expect them to. But a team
Yeah.
like Bournemouth, if they have like a losing streak, it's hard for them to get out of it. So that's why I have them, being relegated this season possibly.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I
good
think that's a
shout.
good
Also,
shout.
they
Yeah.
sold their striker, so
So like, yeah. And I
so
had
like
Bournemouth.
yeah,
Bournemouth was a tough third for me. I didn't end up going with them. I said Everton as my third option.
yeah.
But Bournemouth was between Everton and Bournemouth for me. So yeah. So my last team to get relegated is Everton. I just think they weren't. I just think they're not a serious team. Honestly, they also lost Onana. Yeah. So I think maybe it's time for them to go back.
Yeah, likewise, same here. I feel like Everton, they've been serenading with the last three for like 3, 4 years. They've been teasing it, and I think eventually, they have to
It's time.
accept that coming. And I don't see relegation as a bad thing for Everton. I see it as a way they can reduce their expenses, regroup, fix whatever is broken in the
Guy,
in the in the in the company as a
championship is a
team, and
tough
then
place
come
to
back.
go and review, though, because you're going there
But it is what
to a pack of hungry wolves that guys that come back right after. I feel they are lucky. I won't even lie.
yeah.
I think they are lucky. Guys
You
that
just
go
say
to
they're lucky to win 42 games. Bro,
yes,
relax.
I think so, bro.
I
Like
42.
like not like not
no,
like not see not lucky in the sense that they
Bro.
won by luck, but like I feel like championship is hit or miss. Do you get what I'm saying?
Championship is
Like
harder than Prem. I don't know
that's
what
the
you
point.
want.
That's the point
Yeah,
I'm making.
you can have 97 points and not what's it called? Be promoted to the
Yeah,
next.
yeah, then you're helping my point. I'm like, it's difficult. So like, that's not the place to go back and figure it out. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's
but
a tough league to go to, but yeah,
yeah,
anyways, that's not.
I think to Andrew's point, he's saying that it can't be luck then because you have to go there and play your best football. And I think teams that are able to jump right back into the Premier League, I think a good way of doing that is by keeping most of your players. Like I know when Leicester got relegated, Ian Nacho, a couple of those guys were still there, right? And they were able to find their way back. But for the most part, like I don't think it's a league that you want to go back to and try and figure it out.
I
Um,
think Leicester is only the second team in the last 10 years or something like that to do something to come back right after. And
No, is Bournemouth would Bournemouth be one of those teams? Because I know
no, no, I don't think they
they
did
were,
back. I don't think it was the next, very next. I don't think it was the very next season,
yeah,
right? And a good number of these guys keep their guys,
yeah, that's
right?
fair.
It's tough, sharp, but yeah, I guess I get what Andre's saying still.
Like I'm
Uh,
not even asking them to come back next season. I just want them to go there, figure it
Yeah,
out, let them get dealt
good luck,
with, and then
good luck
figure
to
out, and
figuring
then
it.
come
Good
back
luck
in
figuring
three,
it
four,
out,
5 years. People are laughing. Newcastle did exactly what I'm saying. They went back, they figured it out. They're
How
here.
long? But how long ago though?
It doesn't matter, but
It
you come back. And,
matters.
do you rather be 16th for 5 years or go to the relegate, win something because to qualify you must
I'd
get to the
rather
top
be
four,
16th, brother.
then come back and be a top 10 team or be
I,
managing your bottom
16th,
table
16th,
forever. Like
16th for
I'd
sure.
it
rather be
doesn't make
16th,
sense.
bro. Okay,
16th.
see. Also, Andrew, there's no figuring out you want to go and do in championship that would make you a top 10 team in Premier League. Let's
I'm
be
just
honest
giving
there.
you two examples now. I told
Who
you Newcastle.
they
Newcastle
came
literally did what you're saying.
not the
They were
next
relegated.
season, not the next season. That's my point. Like you can figure that out in Premier League. You don't need to go to championship to figure that
Leicester
out.
City came from relegation, stayed in the Premier League the next season. The next season after they won the Premier League.
Man,
What
it's
are we
still not the
saying?
next season. There's a difference. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying they're going to come
It,
here and be the champion next
I
season.
know you're
I'm
not
just
saying
saying
that.
I'm
It's like
tired
top
of them
10.
being 17th, 16th. They're going to come back and just be a middle table team. Be
Yeah,
more
I guess
focused, have more will. I think it just makes sense. I
no,
don't know why
yeah,
you're
no,
making
no.
this
I
face
guess we
like it
disagree.
makes
Just
sense.
no, we disagree. It doesn't make any sense to me. But let's just move on. I disagree for
But
sure.
yeah.
Um,
What's
but
your
yeah,
pick,
it was a good one.
Tosin?
My pick for this one is it's very difficult because I like a lot of the teams in the Premier League right now, but honestly, I have to go with Nottingham Forest. I think they would
Yeah,
struggle
that's a
as
good
well. I
one.
think
Yeah.
similar to Bournemouth, they haven't signed too many game changing players, and teams like this, they find a way to float in the Premier League. They have momentum. They win a couple games. They're able to find their way in between. But I feel they need to make certain changes as time goes on. They need to make permanent signings that can potentially change the outcome of their team for a long period of time. They need to sign like a young star player, like having. I think for Leicester it was Vardy and Mahrez. Those guys completely changed the entire, you know, life cycle of Leicester. Right. I mean, they still got relegated, but for a while they were very confident staying in the Premier League. And teams, I don't know, I don't think Nottingham Forest has made any sign like that. I think the guy, what's his name? Their number 10, light skinned guy,
Gibbs.
Gibbs, is a great player, but they need like an out and out like finisher. Like Gibbs, I think
Awoni is out and out
Yeah,
finisher.
that's our Niger boy,
He's
man.
injury prone too.
Yeah,
Injury
but
prone.
it be the ball, man. CHO too. Don't forget CHO.
I know they have CHO and they have the other guy from Manu,
Elanga.
Olanga.
Elanga. Those are
Yeah.
good signings, but I feel like they need to get away from that young core to be able to stay in because those young players can only take you so far, right? So
Yeah, they were 16th and 17th previous two last two seasons. So
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, that's a good shot as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So those are my top three.
Yeah, I guess we have a
What
very
topic?
well I guess we all have different picks here, so it's been interesting to see who ends up getting relegated. But yeah, so I think two more picks or three more picks here for us. Let's go PFA and highest goal scorer.
Highest goal scorer. I think we all have the same thing. Unfortunately, he's
Yeah,
kind of like
I don't want to
rigged
pick him though.
the league. So I honestly don't want to, but I don't see how he doesn't win it because he was injured like pretty much half of last season and still won it. So it's a little bit frustrating, right?
Yeah, this has to go against him. So yeah, I have
So
Haaland shot.
like, and the problem is like even if you don't support Haaland, he's just one of those guys you have to put
Yeah,
on your FPL, for example. It's quite
yeah,
like it's just frustrating. I personally like if I played FPL more consistently, I wouldn't want to put Haaland, but I would be stupid not
Not to
to.
put him. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'd have
Yeah,
gone
common
Nkunku
factor.
if Nkunku was on pens for Chelsea, but he's not on
Right.
pens, so
Nkuku,
Haaland
or
will.
otherwise, if Haaland was in the picture, you're going for Nkuku.
Like if Nkunku was on
Okay,
pens,
okay, let's do it this way. Since Haaland is a common factor, then there's really nothing to predict. Let's look at second highest goal scorer.
That's a good one. A good
So you're
shout,
going with
Andrew.
Koko.
second highest. No, I said if Nkunku was on pens, not if
Okay, so
Haaland
who
wasn't in the
again?
picture.
Kopama.
I'll have to. I don't know. Nah, not Palmer. Palmer is not scoring anywhere near as what he did last season. And if anyone has someone in mind, like you could go ahead.
I can jump. Obviously, for me, Darwin Nunes, if he's able to play every single game this season. Yes, Darwin Nunes had
See,
30
I,
goal
I like
involvements last season. What are you talking
see,
about?
I like listening to this podcast and I like being a part of this podcast. But then sometimes I feel like we are fans of football clubs. Nobody's arguing they're a Liverpool fan, nobody's arguing they're a Chelsea fan. But just try to look at this from a holistic point of view. We
Darwin,
all know that Darwin Nunes is a misser. He misses
but he
opportunities.
missed most chances last season. I feel like if he can
So you
convert
think
most,
if he scores them now, same thing, he can say the same thing about his top nine. What's
who
his name?
Jackson.
Jackson
Jackson.
was an overall disaster. Like
I
it's
know
so
it was not. It was just his
Can you
finishing. Let's
see?
not do that. Let's not do that.
So
Jackson was an
we have
amazing
to
player last season outside of his finishing.
you see. So now we have to look at this thing objectively and not with any bias. Who do you really believe will be second highest goal scorer? Stop lying to yourselves because you're supporting a team.
But
It's like me
okay,
saying, "No,
okay,
I think
Andrew,
it will
Andrew,
be
who do you
Gabriel
have though?
Jesus." Like that's
Andrew,
a
who do you
joke
have?
now.
Andrew, who do you have?
That will be second high. I can say Salah. Like let's be reasonable here. We've like
Yeah, Salah is a good shout actually. If we sign Osimhen, sir, I have Osimhen. If Chelsea somehow land him, but if not,
exactly
I
like
have
a
Salah. If
finisher.
not, I
Any
have Salah as
finisher.
well. I can pick
Dominic
Salah.
Solanke can do it. Oli Watkins, like there's people that we can mention, and our listeners will not be like, you guys are going on an agenda.
Darwin Nunes is
Yeah.
not an agenda.
Okay, Nunes, that's your pick. Kyrie, what's your own?
My pick is Osimhen if we sign him, but if not, I'm going. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go Salah. I'll go Salah. Yeah, I'll go Salah.
Same,
Yeah.
Salah.
Okay.
So for player of the
PFA.
season, are we going to go with Suboslai?
No, man, I'm going. I'm going for player of the season. I'm going. I'll go maybe Saka. I'm going Saka.
Saka, like
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, no. When Arsenal win the league, they have to give it to an Arsenal boy.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. And I said Arsenal wins. So if Arsenal wins, I'll go Odegaard, not obviously not Saka.
Player of the season.
Or Declan. That's a tough one, Sha, because I feel like Arsenal is a very good team that kind of share the load. So it's like you're not going to have one person carrying you. So yeah, it's a tough one. I'm like, okay, I have it.
Sure. Sure.
No. I'm going to
Let's
go.
see, what's
I'm
yours?
going Saka. I'm going Saka.
Um, I would go with trying to think of someone on the team that makes sense to win it.
I mean,
Salah
you have
or
Liverpool winning,
Szoboszlai
so
or
you might
yeah,
as well be
or
a
Darwin
Liverpool
Nunes.
player.
If he gets the highest goal scorer and he does all these numbers, like yeah, Nunes, Gakpo.
Who plays behind
Yes.
Nunes?
I mean, McAllister or Diaz or one of those guys.
But
Honestly, you can give it to any of those guys. To be fair, I can. If we win the league, I can go Luis Diaz.
yeah, I actually see that happening. If he, Diaz a pop.
Like if we win the league, like you guys are being funny. Like these guys haven't been.
I'm actually being
Like
serious.
these guys haven't been in contention the past like 3, 4 seasons. Darwin Nunes had 30 plus, no, not 30 plus, but 30 goal involvements last season, and he
You
played.
know, come.
I know, but he played like a lot of games as a substitute and he missed a lot of no, he didn't miss a lot of games, but he played a lot of games as a substitute, right? And he was coming off a lot of those times as well. So Darwin Nunes, honestly, with how terrible he was last season, if he can convert more of those chances, like we've seen him do sometimes, or most of the times for Uruguay,
Well, but
like he
but
stands
the
a
problem with Nunes is like I think he's a very good player. He always makes the right runs, he's always in the right places. But his problem is finishing. And honestly, like the same reason I don't have high hopes for Jackson. Like I just don't see players like that all of a sudden becoming good finishers, like kind of like overnight. So I genuinely feel again they would improve, but I don't think again players like Jackson and Nunes are significantly improving when it comes to finishing. And even with Uruguay, this Copa America, bruh, Nunes was having like there was a game I watched Nunes have like 6, 7 shots. Only one goal came out of it. Like
yeah, but
six, seven good shots. Like
he still had like I think
you,
like 2 or 3 goals in or 4 goals in that tournament, right? So
yeah,
Nunes,
he will always score for sure, right? But it's just like yeah, like when you look at chances missed, that be clear cut chances missed, he's always up there with I guess with the players who've missed the most. But yeah, I guess it's yet to be seen, but we'll see next season. And
Yeah,
to the
I think it's going to be an exciting season.
yeah, and I guess to round this off, let's round it off with who we think is getting sacked first. In the Premier League, I'm going Son Dyche. Like I think Everton will get rid of him. After the first 15, 20 games, and they realize this guy is going to relegate them, they'll sack him, and whoever is coming in will just make sure they are relegated.
I would say Ten Hag. I think he wasn't sure of his. I guess like at the end of the season, he wasn't sure that he was going to be the coach of Man U, and I feel like he's already started making excuses before the season even starts, and I feel like by December, January, like if Man U are not in the position that they feel they need to be or they should be in, I think he gets the letter. So Ten
Yeah,
Hag for me.
that's a good shot.
Yeah, I think Ten Hag as well. Just because I have Manu in second place, I don't think he can be the person to spearhead them to second place. I think they need that switching manager, and obviously switching managers for big teams comes with that boost. So yeah, that boost probably what will take them to second place. So if my prediction has to come to pass, then Ten Hag has to leave. That's the only
Well,
way this can work.
well, Andrew, that means you're calling for an early shout of sacking because if they are not
Yeah,
sacking him
very early.
within the first 2 months, there's no manager that's coming to undo whatever he has done longer than that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's those are good predictions there for the managers getting sacked. And overall, I think I like how we kind of stand differently in a good number of things here. So it'll be interesting to see how everything actually plays out. We should actually go look at our predictions for
Previous
the
season.
previous season and compare. The only thing I can clearly remember is we had Tosin had Liverpool winning. I had Arsenal winning. Arsenal. I can't remember if it was Arsenal or City, but yeah, I'm not sure we got that one right. At least in terms of who won. But yeah, for you guys listening, watching, make sure to also make your predictions in the comments. Like, let us know what you think about each of these things we've touched on. Yeah, over to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'd love to see everyone's predictions and look out on our page for our FPL league. Another
Yeah,
thing is, yeah, we also have like a prize for anyone who gets all the predictions right at the end of the season. We're obviously going to take a look back at it and see who had everything correctly. So, based on our predictions today, let us know yours. And then if you get it right, you can win a prize at the end of the season.
yeah, and we'll
Yep.
disclose that price at the end of the season or closer to the end. So yeah,
It'll be closer to the end for sure. But
But yeah, it's going to be worth it. So please just drop your prediction in the comments and interact with us in any way.
for
yeah.
sure.
All right, thanks guys.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.